Learning languages prepares us to connect in the multilingual and multicultural world we share. ACTFL and 16 other language organizations collaborated to create the World Readiness Standards for Learning Languages. Recently, the standards were modified to focus on literacy, real-world applications of language, and 21st century skills. These standards serve as a roadmap to guide learners to communicate effectively and interact with global competence while participating in communities locally and globally. Supporting this vision are 5 goal areas, also known as the 5 C's: communication, cultures, connections, comparisons, and communities. Integrating these goal areas into instructional programs helps students become world-ready educated citizens. Within the 5 C's are the 11 content standards that describe the knowledge and abilities students should acquire throughout their language education. Let's take a look at the goal areas and the content standards. The communication goal is divided into 3 content standards, describing the 3 modes or purposes of communication. The interpersonal mode for interacting with others and negotiating meaning, the interpretive mode for understanding and analyzing what is heard, read, or viewed, and the presentational mode for creating messages to inform, explain, persuade, or narrate. Each mode addresses how learners speak, write, listen, view, and use media, anytime, anywhere, with anyone. How can we measure student growth towards this goal? The World Readiness Standards include sample performance indicators that allow students and teachers to reflect on and track progress in all 3 modes of communication using can-do statements. These statements describe real-life applications of language, showing what learners can do at each stage from novice to intermediate to advanced. And now let's talk about the other 4 C's. These outline what students do with the language and how they utilize it in a wide variety of contexts. In the Cultures and Comparisons content standards, students use the target language to investigate, explain, and reflect on aspects of language and how cultural perspectives influence our practices and products. In the Connections content standards, students build critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and they also access and evaluate diverse perspectives. In the Communities content standards, students use the language within and beyond the classroom, as well as set goals and reflect on their progress. And how can we observe student progress in these goal areas? The World Readiness Standards include sample progress indicators. Sample progress indicators are specific to student age and language level, acknowledging that learners' cognitive and maturity levels may not match their language abilities. This means that even though learners at the same proficiency level have similar language abilities, the tasks they perform with the language change based on their age, experience, and interests. In review, the World Readiness Standards are organized around the 5 C's, with sample performance indicators for identifying what learners can do in communication, and sample progress indicators demonstrating a wide variety of applications using language. Combined, these elements show us what learners should know, be able to do, and how well they can do it. The standards help learners understand their growing ability to communicate effectively and interact with global competence, and provide language educators at all levels a clear roadmap to follow in order to guide their students to a place of world readiness. Visit standardsforlanguages.org.